Yes. Yes, I know. I'm a little bit late. It happens. I got two other people on this show that are always late. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your Couch Rider Raven saying, hey, thanks for coming through. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Hey, it's been a week. It has been a week, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Let's see who we got in the room. Lisa says, hey, Jermaine, watch out, LA Chargers. Our defense are coming for you. Just wait. Yes, they cannot wait. We'll be waiting all week for Monday night, right? Craziness. Gerald says, what's up? He ain't said it to me. He said, what's up to Lisa, though. So, hi, Gerald. He said, what's good, Jermaine? Wilbert, yes, I need y'all to go ahead and show us how to beat the Steelers because we can't figure it out. I'm not going to hurt. I'm not gonna go there. We're gonna go there a little bit tonight, but we ain't finna fully focus on that. But I will get into where we are in the flock hate spectrum. And thanks to Mrs. Lockett, we have a nice graphic that was an idea we just came up with earlier, but we'll get into that in a minute. Brooke says, hey. Chris says, not weaker than the O-line. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm Steelers fans are in the building. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. I think I got something for one of y'all. Oh, hold on just a minute. I need to get this thing uploaded. A couple of things, actually. Hopefully it's here. Yep. Give me just a second here. I'm trying to take care of some little house cleaning. So, when it comes to these Steelers, man, you know, I just think I don't know what to say. Actually, I do know. I know exactly what to say. I'm sick of this bet. I'm tired of it. I don't want to do it no more. You know, Keith Robinson, look, I can't keep putting my face on some of your friends' face or whatever, claiming to be a Steelers fan when we lose these. I'm tired. I just can't do it no more, man. I just don't want to. I know it's a life deal. It's a life deal, but I'm ready to call it a day, bro. I'm tired of it. Sick of it. Sorry, Ravens flock. Sorry. This was all over Facebook. It was just terrible. But y'all were too busy. Y'all were on your own little vibes here. Y'all were ready to just burn everything down. Y'all were just y'all were in a mood. Anywho, speaking of moods, motivational quote of the day. Let's just go ahead and get there. Thou shalt not let low vibing, sketchy, blank energy penetrate thy aura. In other words, shake them haters off, doo-doo. No, I mean, honestly, you got to stop letting people's negativity impact your life. And I think these games they have some impact on people's moods throughout the week. And I know this. That's a natural thing. Your team loses, you're a little salty, but we can't keep doing this, folks. We can't keep celebrating one week and then ready to fire Harbaugh the next week after. And that is why we are not going to wait any longer. Well, Kam Ru's here, so this is great. We definitely don't have to wait. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legend, the myth, the man, Kam Ru. What's good, brother?
My mood is salty because I know Kenny over here talking trash.
Yes. Okay. So
with the fire, we all stink.
yeah, he came in hot. He came in hot. Over here saying woohoo. Hello, fly.
I can't be mad. I can't be mad at you,
I
brother.
like talk yourself, man. Yeah, I got it. All right.
Appreciate it.
So with that, I got to make a little small change to the background because of
I'm far away, man. So I apologize. Go ahead.
you good. So I'm gonna just put this thing on here. It's been a rough week for Ravens flock. If you go look at the Ravens page,
Man,
they've been going crazy. They've been
let
going absolutely out of their mind.
me tell you something. It's a rough week when you leave a message for somebody that's doing whatever the post may be, and then you get in an argument with somebody that's not even. I got an argument with this dude that's a Cincinnati fan. I'm like, what?
I've been like, you ain't even in this. Tell him to go sit in the corner. He got swept up.
He's trying to tell me what Lamar is and this and that, and I'm like, bro, did you even watch the game? Do you even know what you're talking about? Like, and then because during the time of the argument, I'm just looking at the comments, so I'm ready to go back. I'm like, oh, I'm already choosing violence because I'm upset that we lost. So I'm going back and forth with this dude. I wasn't trying to go back and forth. I was answering. I think I was on. Boy, that crack snack and pop is real big. That's soda. I was saying, responded to something that I think I was on. I forgot whose page subscription I was on. But anyway.
We're talking about you got to lead a group. You can't lead a group. That's your group.
You about to lead a group.
He's the owner of that page.
But I was on there, and the dude was like, y'all always want to say something. Lamar's terrible. He was never good. And I'm like, at first I thought it was a Pittsburgh fan taking shots. But then I had to look. I'm like, you a Bengals fan, boss? Why are you even on here? We ain't even talking about your team right now. Why? I said, first of all, what do you have to do? Because they always want to compare Joe Burrow to him, and I'm like, come on, man, we're not even talking about Burrow.
Nope.
He's not in the same category right now. I'm sorry. Don't put Burrow in the same category with Lamar. I'm sick of it. Man,
it's just when the people come out the woodworks, it just makes me laugh. So my wife, she came up with this idea today, and so I was just like, all right, cool. I just hopped into Photoshop and went to work. When the Ravens lose, yes, the media pundits are on us like crazy, but nobody's harder on us than the flock themselves. We go off in a full-on flock hate continuum. I don't know if you can look at this on the screen here, but we are pretty much all the way to the left. to the left when it comes to the amount of hate that happens with this team here. It is Ravens fans just go completely bananas, wanting to just, because normally, like every week we win. Usually we're all the way to the right, whereas we're yelling MV3. And you look at down here, you got Lamar over here doing the jump shot fadeaway type of deal. We're yelling MV3. We're yelling how great he is. We got people on ESPN talking about he's the greatest of all time. And I mean, it was really speaking out their butt. But they said it. They said these words on there, like greatest all time or whatever.
Right.
It was like tons of hype going on. And then, as we go down, of course, we'll just fade down. Right. So our normal week, we'll say, we're probably frustrated because Daniel Faalele did something dumb. And so we're getting the W, but we can't stand Faalele for some reason. That is a perfect place to be. If we stay there for the rest of the season, just hating on Faalele, but getting W's, recognizing that we have a solid team all together, I'd be good with that.
Just make sure the hate's on Faalele,
But it's just like it's a happy spot right there,
Like you don't get too high, don't get too low.
Yeah.
That was PQ Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That was a Super Bowl.
It was. We're gonna get our look back soon. As I go forward though into the continuum.
Elliot, that was a Super Bowl. I'm gonna be honest with you, like outside of everything, I love the fact that it was a defensive game, but outside of all of that, it did ignite the defense. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I feel bad for like I didn't know he felt that he was that salty about it. You know what I mean? Like to like he walked. I guess it must have hit him later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and you with the Steelers, but it just the story was like, when you listening to the story, like, I mean, I was like, damn, bro, I hope we do well in this game because, he really feels some type of way about the game. But he might have made the game play by stripping there, and I was like, yeah, we gonna lose. I knew something was wrong. We wasn't playing like we need to play. Rex Ryan said it best. He said the best person that can stop, the best coordinator that can stop the Ravens is the Ravens offensive coordinator. And that's the truth.
All right, we'll get into some more Steelers thoughts in just a second. Let me get through the rest of this continuum here. So then, of course, there is the, we wake up on Monday morning most of the time, maybe Tuesday, depending on when the game is, and everybody on the internet is going off about Brandon Stevens. It's prior to getting White there, even with White there. Now, I guess Stevens gave up 78 yards total on offense, to the offense of the Steelers. So, of course, we're upset, but we're still usually taking W's when Stevens is still kind of dog water back there. And then Ravens flock decides to just lose their mind on an L. We take an L, and they want somebody fired. Then you can see this little anger emoji right in the middle because we had people coming for Harbaugh's head. We had people wanting Monken fired. I was like, dude, he had one bad game. They were like, no, he's trash. I'm like, this dude's up for an offensive. He's up for a head coach position this year, and you want him gone. You want Tuck gone. You want Harbs gone. You wanted everybody. They were just like, fire somebody. They wanted somebody. That's why I got to fire somebody. Shit. right here in the middle. And then, of course, once Ravens flock gets a little bit even more ticked off, they start saying things like Lamar ain't got no help. When we know that's not the case. We have seen him have weapons and got guys that show up. Yes, there was a significant drop by Zay Flowers the other day, but that is not the entire book of Zay Flowers, just like it's not the entire book of Rashad Bateman. These are players that make big-time plays. We want them to make them in key moments, of course. But this to say that they don't have any help, it's just really going down the panic scale on the spectrum here. And then, of course, if you look very closely under that little fire emoji right there, there is a picture of John Harbaugh because everybody wants to fire Harbs. That is the solution to on most of the shows that I've been watching. Everybody wants to fire Harbs. I'm not talking about mainstream media. I'm talking about all of our YouTube partners out there. They want to fire Harbs. They've been wanting to fire Harbs forever. But I think Harbs is the consistent wheel that keeps this cog kind of like moving along. It's just he needs to be able to not hire his friends or not hire as many friends, we'll say, and keep the party going by making those adjustments, being more engaged in how these changes go down. Because obviously last week he was engaged with the defensive coordinator. They watched extra film. They made extra adjustments. They walked through with these guys. They made sure they had their stuff together because this team only allowed 206 passing yards that game and made Russell look mediocre. It was a great showing on the defensive side of the ball. So kudos to Zach Orr. I know we don't do that very often, but kudos to Zach Orr. But still on this hate push spectrum, they still want Harb's head. And then, of course, there's like the complete nuclear mode folks that just want to throw the whole team in the trash. They want to sell the team. They want to move to somewhere. I don't know. They want to move to Nebraska. I'm not sure where they want to move the team to, but they just completely panic after one loss and lose their mind all over social media. And they are in that mode all the way to the left of throw the Ravens in the trash. What are your thoughts about the spectrum?
It's cool. Pretty much explains everything. It's the truth. It is what it is.
So let's go through and look at the Bills real quick. Let's play some Bills. Brooks says, I got to keep it real. I don't like Ravens fans. You have 20,000 of them.
I'm with you, bro.
Kenny D's over here yelling PQ. It was personal. It was personal for him, And the thing is, if it helps with mental health, and
on the other side, though,
yeah,
we get to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't
So
gonna
we
be.
have to look at it like this here. When it comes to, of course, PQ's mental health. He gets his W. We still manage to keep doing what we do. It's fine. MV3 was an idea that wasn't on the checklist of items that we need to take care of. The big questions are: do we still have a ticket to the playoffs? That's a yes. Are we still do we still have an opportunity to see the Steelers drop 3 games? I mentioned this in the video earlier. And we take care of business and take care of that number 1 seed, get a home game. Yes, that opportunity is still there. Can we still make the Super Bowl? Absolutely. This was 1 game. Ravens Nation lost it. Media lost it. They threw the Ravens in the trash after 1 game, after celebrating the Ravens as one of the best teams, couldn't be stopped in the league because they are prisoners of the moment. I have noticed this across the board that we celebrate like crazy high on the victories on the media, how great he is, how he's climbing, the Mahomes Mountain and all this business. But then the second we take a dump, they throw us off a cliff. What are your thoughts?
They're always looking at to shoot Lamar down. And it's funny because if you watch First Things First, Nick always saying like why they always trying to justify Lamar, take up for Lamar, like we don't treat him like we treat the rest of the quarterbacks. Like he get like when it comes to Lamar, people shouldn't be allowed to talk bad about him. What are you I was like, what is he talking about? When everybody always talks bad about Lamar, including him. So what is he talking about? And then every time he get a chance, bro. I don't know because he a Kansas City fan.
That's because he's a Kansas City fan, and Mahomes can do no wrong. I have never seen such a jacked up sports segment.
A shot at Lamar that he takes at Josh Allen, and he takes at
Joe.
Anybody else that's just as in that tier. Mm-hmm. He takes a shot at Lamar. I don't know.
Got a collection of quarterbacks that he likes.
Cruz up there, and he's picking the Ravens. I don't know if that's the reason, but he deliberately goes out of his way to take a shot at Lamar. They didn't compare them to Aaron Judge. They didn't compare them to Westbrook. Like you can't. First of all, don't compare. You can't compare him like that and say though you don't show up for the biggest game. 2 teams that he has not played good against. So don't say those are the biggest games. Like nobody else is his rival. He hasn't played in big games. He's showed up huge in big games, but he's not the only one that hasn't played well in big games. You understand what I'm saying? He outplayed Mahomes when they played Kansas City in the beginning of the season. So let's not say he doesn't show up big in big games. Now I don't know what's being said in between that time, but everybody look out of sync, and a lot of it just looks bad when you having that many amount of penalties. In a game, it's going to throw up the rhythm of the team, and everybody's playing. No one's playing good. You know what I mean? And then I'm not hats off to the Steelers because the Steelers did their thing. They did what they had to do. They played their style of football. It's just like a fighter. You can't fight somebody else's fight. You got to fight your fight.
Absolutely. And I think that the Ravens did not play, of course, the way that they needed to play. We need to get the ball to Henry. And I think, it's easier said than done looking at how they were trying their best to stop the run, but we just have to find a way to get him more engaged, get him in open space, screen passes, because they were bringing the heat on Lamar.
Even if
find a way to
still be out there. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my problem. Like, even if he, it should never be an even split between him and Justice Hill. There's no reason. Not when you have somebody back there, if you hand him the ball, he's liable to bust off about a good 20-yarder.
Yeah, I agree. I think just having him out there, it does change how they play. They have to respect the play action. They have to respect the read. Yeah. And it's just simply, it makes the whole game different. Rough justice, yes, we know that it's going to be either going to be him going out for a pass, more likely a screen or something on those lines. We're not going to be running it as much with justice. It doesn't give us that much versatility when he's on the field. That's petty bills. Let's see. Let's see. Chris Allen is closer to Jameis than Lamar. Turnover Kings. Okay, I mean, right now he looked kind of super against the Kansas City Chiefs. I gotta give him his props there.
He looked good against Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, they were home. It's a home game. It happens. It's. I don't know. I'm not. Hey, it is what it is. Like at this particular time, I can care less. They want the narrative is that they're pushing Josh to be the MVP.
Mhm.
I don't care. I don't care. I want us to get a ring.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
I don't care. I don't care about the MVP. Like
Mhm.
that's not even worth stating. What I do want, real talk, is this. What I do want is Lamar to get the respect he deserves. And
Absolutely.
that's the problem. And just because you're saying, like, just because people are saying, well, Henry should have got the ball more, that doesn't negate how of Lamar's greatness. That's a game plan. Like it shouldn't be like, oh well, Lamar should have got the, they're trying to be like, oh well, what Nick is like, well, which one should it be? Lamar plays better, or Henry should have got the ball more. No, fool. We supposed to run the ball. You don't have a great weapon. If if you think about last year, even in the playoffs, just for example, when it's Mahomes getting when Pacheco was running up and down the field and everybody, they ain't say, oh, they didn't take nothing away from Mahomes. Oh, he's just playing well. No, Pacheco's playing well. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's just always weird. It's just weird with some people, but it's I ain't gonna
Yeah,
be rough.
I gotta get a props where it's due.
Fired up about that. But
Uh, what's Chris? What you talking about? We always being I think it's just EDC puts us in a decent position. I mean, we put the roster where the roster is, and they make it happen with what we got. Like I said last year, accused EDC was accused of being very cheap, and we still got to the AFC Championship.
the truth is this, Chris. I don't think he's being cheap. You can't buy a championship. You got to play it. So
Yeah, it's like the Yankees, and look at them now.
yeah, like I don't care about the picks. What picks? What picks he talking about? What picks?
I think he's talking about the way that Eric DeCosta likes to bring in the younger players versus trying to sign the flashier guys, bringing them into the draft.
What I'm saying is that you can sign all the flashy guys you want if we getting bad coaching. This game was a perfect example. We barely did anything out the eye. We should have RPO'd the mess out of the Steelers. We barely did the run pass option. It was a fake run. Majority of the time, the RPO was for a pass. It wasn't even the run was there. It was plenty of times Lamar. That part of that is Lamar's fault. Plenty of times he could have took off. He didn't take off. He's just looking down the field.
All right, we're gonna move forward. We've been stuck on the Steelers for a minute. We're gonna move forward to the Harbowl, man.
You got it. Go ahead.
All right, so the Harbowl, folks. This is on. It's brother versus brother. Y'all know what happened the last time these two faced off? We got a ring. We got a ring out of it. It's a beautiful thing. But now on Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens got to fly across the country. They got to take on Jim Harbaugh. Hopefully he doesn't do any of the sneaky stuff he was doing in Michigan and spying on people or whatever, doing all that shady stuff over there. Hopefully it's a good matchup. Maybe they stay out of each other's living room this week and not review film together, because I guess in the past all three of them have reviewed film together, the dad and the two sons, and they give each other tips and send each other CDs or DVDs or whatever of that film.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that now.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they are like strategically planning for the weaknesses of the Chargers, and I'm hoping that like we are able to pull this one out, because this Chargers team they're okay. They do what they need to do to secure wins, and against the Bengals, it looked pretty solid for that first half. Joe, he decided to go off.
What you talking about?
I'm talking about the Chargers versus Bengals.
No, I'm saying what looks solid? The offense.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole team, they basically looked like it was going to be a blowout at the half.
Yeah,
and it just seemed like I don't know, defense went to sleep, but Joe woke up. and he just decided to go on a full-on comeback out this world. They came back from 20? Was it 27-6 or something like that?
I think so. I think it was 27-6.
They came roaring all the way back and almost won that game. But Justin Herbert, took care of business. And this team right now, there are going to be some things that we have to worry about as far as the key matchups. But who do you think is the key matchup versus the Chargers right now?
I think I really just want to. We can stop the. You don't want to set up nothing. You just want to stop the run. I'm not. I don't. None of the receivers scare me. Not even their rookie. None of the receivers scare me. If we play defense like we played, like we've shown sometimes, and I'm not just saying just the Pittsburgh game. He gets sticky in coverage and are the right pieces out there. I don't really see anybody like they don't have anybody that's getting. You know what I'm saying?
Who is the I guess speaking of like right pieces out there, we're probably not going to have Roquan out there, and so Malik is out there covering that middle next to Simpson. What are your thoughts on that?
Malik worried. He can be out there on first down or run plays. I think we got to put Chris Board out there, to be honest with you, and slide Trent to the middle because Malik looked like he was lost, bro. Those last two. Well, one was on Simpson's side, and the other one was the first big catch by Washington, the tight end for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Malik's side, and he looked like he was stuck in mud. Like he don't move his feet. I don't know. Maybe it was just because it was a spur of the moment, it was at the last second and you coming in there and you.
But I mean, he showed this against Kansas City multiple times till he was benched, and then here he is again.
But during that time he was in. But I don't even think he was in for Trent Simpson. I think he was playing the Sam linebacker, and he was supposed to cover the slot. I don't know why we were doing that.
That was a huge mistake.
Either way, he doesn't need to be covering anybody. He needs to be dropping in his own area and moving his feet. But he's going. We're going to see because Kyle has the green dot if Rowe is not out there.
Yeah, I think the matchup for me, the key matchup will be Malik versus Disley. This is the key to the game. They're going to have to figure out how to pass him off in good zone coverage properly. Right. Because if they do not, there's going to be a gap in the middle of that defense because based on the film, they are playing they're playing too high with 4 underneath. And that leaves a significant hole right in the middle of the field. And like you said, Washington got a nice catch across that middle. But that's going to leave a hole for not only Disley, but that McConkey kid who's running 4-3. Now, Marlowe might be able to handle that. He might be able to handle him in the slot. I think he might be able to cancel him out.
Marlowe's the number one corner right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Marlowe can cancel him out. It's just the fact that Disley creates a problem in the slot.
I mean, if we that worried, because what do they normally run? 11, or they running 12 personnel majority of the time?
I think they're running 12 because they like to run.
Right.
And so it just creates issues with J.K. Dobbins, who's at 4.8 yards per carry right now, and he's coming off of the last 3 games. He's had 4 touchdowns. Not significant breaking the 100-yard marks, but he's getting those touchdowns when it counts.
Right.
And you can see what he's doing once he reaches the second level of a defense. It is definitely lights out. We cannot have that exploited across the middle. If anything, we need to still play clamps on the ground game.
Yeah, first thing I'd rather just be able to. Obviously, first things first, you gotta be able to stop the run, and he's gonna be. I'm sure Greg Roman always got something good, as far as the run game is concerned. I mean, we still got similar aspects as far as that run, the run concepts, because we still, it's not all Greg Roman. Whoever else was part of that mixture of putting the packages together while he was there. So that may help us in that aspect as far as the running is concerned. But I think that I'd rather go man to man with him majority of the time. I'm not worried about it. I'd rather go man to man. If Herbert gonna beat me with his legs, then let Herbert beat me with his legs. I'll just say letting. I'm not worried about them doing an RPO like he gonna come out the back door majority of the time. I doubt if he doesn't. So whatever they decide to do, first things first. Obviously, always gonna be stop the run. Second thing, I think McConkey and is it Johnston, the outside receiver, Johnston?
Yeah, that dude's got 6 touchdowns on the year right now.
Yeah. All I see him do is go routes. I don't see him run anything else.
You know what's funny is we had called this out. I think you and I had said it when we were doing analysis on players 2 years ago, or when Zay was drafted. We talked about Johnson and how he's a hands guy, or he's not a hands guy. He brings everything body in. So you can see the film that this year, I think most of his touchdowns, if not all of them, are all body catches. But when he was challenged to go and use his hands, drops.
All I see catch a touchdown is just go routes. Like I think they trying to get him to home in on one route and then go from there. But
there's a question for you from Lisa. What will it take to put Justin Herbert on his back?
Travis Jones. Travis Jones.
Yeah.
Travis is healthy, bro. That front four is different when Travis is out there because you don't want him to get going. You get Travis always takes up. It makes it easier for Matabike. It makes it easier for Owe. I expect because Rowe might not play. I expect Adisa Isaac and I expect David Ajabo to be active for this game because you're gonna.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm thinking Ajabo probably gonna go off. I think he's starting to catch stride. And I think the adjustments that they have made on this defense are starting to allow him to take advantage.
Ajabo or Owe?
Give me Owe. All right, Owe.
Yeah. Ajabo, the reason why they asking if he a healthy scratch, majority of the time, if you really think about it, the times he's been a healthy scratch is because we've been playing against run-heavy teams.
Yeah.
Like, he's a healthy scratch when we played, I believe it was Denver.
Yeah, and I think it's just personnel groupings. They're trying to figure out the best.
Yeah, who's more physical? Adisa Isaac was out there for a second activation, but he was out there because he can play the same. He's more versatile. He can drop back in coverage. Adisa Isaac is a younger version of Van Noy as far as like his athleticism to be able to drop back in coverage and also play the run. I don't know how his pass rush is yet, but I mean, he came out with 8 sacks? I think he had 8 sacks at Penn State this year.
Okay.
So it's not like he can't. And he made a heck of a play when he deflected the ball off Wilson.
Brooke wants to know how long is Rose supposed to be out. That is something that is so kept to the vest right now. I'm hearing rumors about grade 2 sprain, but I've heard that he was at a charity event and somebody's saying grade 1, but nobody's came out with an official yet. They just know that he wasn't at practice yesterday or today, excuse me.
Yeah, this is actually an extra day, so maybe he'll be back tomorrow.
So I mean, hopefully he gets the full rest. If it's a grade 1, 4 to 5 days. If it is a grade 2, 4 weeks. So huge difference in the two. Let's see, containing Justin Herbert. I think the Ravens do run the arc very well. I don't see an issue there with trying to contain this guy. I don't see him running on us like a madman.
Rushing like we did Josh Allen. I think that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
He's very similar as far as his athleticism.
Yeah, and I think if you run blitz this guy, and just like you said, I think that defensive tackle pressure to collapse the pocket, but it's still having our guys do more of a run blitz, but it's more of a contain. I think it's going to be controlled, and you're going to see more of our interior get that pressure than the exterior because they're sitting there waiting on the outside, trying to protect the lane.
I think that the best thing, honestly, if Malik is out there on the passing down, which could be second, third, could be first down, whatever. If he's out there, I'd rather him going forward, just blitzing, opposed to him sitting back in coverage. I feel more comfortable with that. At least I feel like he's getting something done.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of it just seemed like he doesn't move. I don't know what's going on. Like he didn't move in the Kansas City game, and he looked slow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, and he's a big dude. So I'd rather him going forward. And if he's going to have to play, Rowe blitzed a lot anyway. So let him blitz. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think so. Do you have him? You got to use Malik to his strengths and not put him on the island by himself in those situations where he can be vulnerable. If
Yeah.
anything, now that we have a little bit more confidence on that back end, giving Ardarius Washington that job, maybe Kyle Hamilton doing a little bit more coverage on the interior as far as covering the tight end man to man, because he's already had experience with that covering Andrews on a regular in camp the last two off seasons. So
If
I
they
think
go,
it's an opportunity to see those skills go to work.
only thing I could also see happen if they do go to nickel, maybe they bring in whether they go big nickel or whatever, they bring in Chris Board, because Chris Board can cover. So
Yeah.
that might be a better solution. You keep him and you slide Simpson over Trenton over to the mic and have Board play the weak side linebacker and during that time until Roquan is healthy. So
Yeah. And I think they might be licking their chops on this one.
be honest with you, I'm be very surprised if he plays this week, because the way if you go out in the middle of the game like that and you ain't coming back in, they took your helmet. I thought he had concussion.
Yeah.
Something like that. But they took his helmet. So it has to be somewhat, severe. So hopefully it's not too bad.
Chris, hold just a second here. You said bring in Eddie Jackson and tell him to crash at linebacker. Bro, you wanna hold that?
It's a joke. Let it go.
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm like, Eddie Jackson needed to be left on. He needed to be left at the seafood joint and let him just eat some crabs in Maryland while we head over to the bay.
If Desmond King come in and do what he did last year, and if he does what he does last year, somebody gonna get cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I see it happen. If Desmond King come in,
yeah,
I guarantee he played his game. I don't care that he just got here. It's only
I think they will have certain packages. If it's just man coverage and they say, "Hey, cover on the outside,"
cover, or you blitz him right here. That's it. He don't need much.
Yeah,
he don't need much. I guarantee he gets some burn though. He definitely gonna play.
Absolutely. So going back to the whole Disley thing, so Disley had 80 yards last week and a touchdown, and like I said, this could be one of those exploiting factors. We don't want that to happen, but I can see that as them looking as a major hole in our defense right now. But let's move forward into the next question here. Who are the true Chargers problem children?
On offense or defense?
We can go with offense.
Offense is J.K. and Herbert.
Okay, J.K. and Herbert, and then I think we go into that. Defense.
If Mac is healthy, I don't know if he's going to be healthy, but of course, Bosa and James.
They got another kid. His name is Toy Polota.
They run the same defense we run.
Yeah, he's got 7 sacks on the season.
Yeah,
Max got 4.5.
Yeah,
but this is a number one scoring defense. They normally only allow 14.5 yards per game.
Yeah, remember he's the only one that's been healthy. Like Mac hasn't been healthy; he's been out.
Yeah,
Bosa's been in and out, so he's the only one that's been healthy for them.
Let's see here. Delicious says Marcus Williams might be a worse signing over Earl Thomas, $70 million for nothing right now.
No, I don't want to say that, bro.
His
attitude is not like Earl Thomas, and he was for the past 2 years he was good. I don't know how he fell off the face of the planet, but
it's just how you fit with a different defensive coordinator too.
It did. Look, I forgot what I was reading. Is he tried to it seems like he tried to do what Wink was doing in the beginning with the disguise coverages and everything, and now he slowly started to switch it over to what Mike McDonald was doing. And I don't know if Pease had something to do with that or not.
I think Pease did because of the Pease was always like, we're going to get pressure before.
Yeah,
And like, and that's what it's going to look like from the vanilla piece of it all the way through the end. We know what it is.
We haven't bracketed that type of coverage since last year with McDonald, like the way we were playing it too hard, but we were still being sticky. We haven't done that this whole season. So maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe Marcus. I don't know how we're gonna trade. You gonna trade him? But that's a lot of money, bro. I don't know how you gonna do it. You gotta figure something out because he just don't fit with our system. And you just found a baller. Like Darius would have been drafted if he wasn't 5'8". I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like he was one of the best two. Him and my man that got drafted by the Raiders, the two best safeties that came out. I can't think of his
Oh,
name.
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, best two safeties that came out that year. And
they came out of TCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I can't think of his name for the life of me. But
and actually, he was above Washington.
Huh?
He was drafted above Washington. The other guy for the Raiders. I think he was a first round pick. I want to say, wasn't he?
No, second. He was a second round pick. He was a 43rd pick.
Okay.
To the Raiders, but he's one of the best safeties in the game right now. Like he gets that.
And I thought Washington, you know, when we saw him, I want to say we saw him live. He looked like a true free safety, and it's just nice to see him on getting that opportunity now. I mean, he had so many people ahead of him when he came in, because we had Stone, you know, and Stone was like on again, off again with the Ravens, but every time he was given an opportunity, he showed up big, and it's nice. You know, I'm glad to see him back healthy. I don't want anybody to be hurt, but see this guy back on track with the Bengals. But he was great with us, and it just really, when you got Marcus Williams, when you got him on top of the depth chart, it really was hard for Darius to get his reps, his opportunities there.
Yeah, he was. I mean, but he's playing well. Like he's earned it. I think a lot of it has to do. If you ever notice, a lot of rookies, they play a lot of special teams coming in. They always get banged up, especially on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
Always seem to get banged up. It never fails every year.
Yeah. Something I missed in my notes was I wanted to discuss is, what are your thoughts on Justin Tucker?
I think we talked about this via text. Like ever since Sam retired, since Jordan has gotten there, he's been off. So that's who I blame it on.
Mm-hmm.
I blame it on the holder more than Tuck kicking, because it's not like his leg is dead and he just kicking crazy. It's been majority of the time each year has been going to the left, but it's like it has to have to do with that handle. He's not going to throw nobody under the bus, but it definitely has to do with. I think it really has to do with Jordan.
I was hearing rumblings about the field conditions for kickers, that it is not advantageous to kick at that field for away kickers. But that's what I was hearing. I don't know. I can't remember what show I was hearing that on. But they were saying that. Huh?
I'm sorry. I'm listening to you. I was just reading. Brooks said that Stover said he didn't think it was his style. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's just weird.
I don't think there's gonna be a bust that somebody's gonna throw another player under when they get into these interviews. I think they probably behind the scenes are handling the.
What I'm saying is, like, you just don't get inaccurate. Like I understand that he still has the power, but you just don't get inaccurate. It'd be different. He had to kick it off a tee.
Yeah.
Kick it straight, but somebody got to handle the ball the proper way, because if he leading the ball the wrong way, or you could just tell he kicked the 54-yard.
Yeah, they said Cook would normally he would be more of a reclined position versus over top of the ball like Stout is, and they said that may have something to do with it.
I could have a lot to do with it, because he got to do the follow through. So maybe that's it. I honestly don't know. I didn't know that. I don't know.
Brooke said it was Tucker playing. He said it was him complaining about the field afterwards.
Yeah, I mean that it's horrible because Pittsburgh and Clemson just played the day before, so I don't know if they anything for it. So it's probably the cleats. You gotta have the right cleats. I mean, I don't want to make no excuses, man. Hats off the Pittsburgh. They did what they had to do. We didn't do our job. Again, beat us.
Not at all.
You
And
know?
it's like, we put ourselves in there. We were in position, and I know that it was a loss, but it still is it was a 2-point loss. We got an extra minute and a half. That game is won by Baltimore. But
the penalties though have nothing to do with the field. The penalties don't. Part of it is 50% of it's about the D line, D line being so good. Other percentage is about maybe we don't have the right offensive lineman out there. I'm sorry. I know everybody love McCarry, but I don't think he should be the starting left guard. I'm sorry. He doesn't. There's no push. We not doing this. We not doing this.
Is Voorhees, is he hurt or something? Or
what, McCarry?
No, Voorhees.
He lost his job when he hurt his ankle. And then we played so well against Buffalo. Harbaugh was like, it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I think it's just the discipline of these guys. I think McCarry's got to get some more discipline over there, especially when it goes to the downfield calls. Like we can't be having offensive line calls when we're making significant plays downfield.
The thing about, other than that, I'm talking about the holding plays on the runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one that was called on Stanley was kind of ticky tacky. It wasn't like a legitimate. Like you can see the pad just went up and he let go. But boy, he should be out there or been. I don't know. One of them should be out there because McCarry's not strong, bro. He's not strong up top.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that brings us into the question of what adjustments will Monken make. You're hoping anyway.
I want to see the lineman, man. I really feel like that's holding because it's too predictable. We're going to toss to the left. We rarely toss it to the right. So why would you do that? You're doing that because we're a right-handed team, but we tossing it to the left. We should be able to toss to the left or to the right.
Yeah,
that means that we're not getting no push. They're good in pass pro, but run blocking is horrible.
Yeah, I think they got to figure out like that with that 2-point conversion. I kind of wish that likely, he chips the guy and then still gives Lamar a second option just in case that defensive end crashes where he's trying to get through.
We talking about the 2-point conversion? It didn't matter because Nelly didn't do his job. Nelly was supposed to block the end. He didn't do his job at all. And
Herbert really took over that game. I mean, he looked like a full-on monster throughout the game. I mean, we're talking batted passes. He was everywhere all over that field.
It's just.
But oh well. As far as this game, though, what adjustments do we need to make?
It was a weak call, bro. Just a minute. It was a stupid call. You just can't. You can't call the same play twice and don't tell me it's not a hot dog just because you put some ketchup on it. It's still a damn hot dog. Don't tell me it's not a hot dog because you decide to boil it instead of grilling it. It's still a hot dog, bro. You get ready to act like you're doing a jump pass if you decided to do a jump pass to the right. And I'm still like, why is Henry not out there? Yeah. Like that's just, to me, it makes no sense. Whether you're gonna give him the ball or not, him being out there, you have to respect Henry. Like
so against a defense that is allowing 4.6 yards per carry, you think they're gonna make the adjustment and make Henry more of that ball carrier this game?
It don't matter. To me, it's pick your poison. You're gonna let Lamar run it, or you're gonna let Henry run it. I don't know which one. At the end of the day, one of them gonna get loose.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so as well. I think they talked about it. They pulled up a stat. They said in games where Henry has less than 14.5 carries, we lose.
Yep.
But when he's got more than that,
we're 4-0.
We take a dub.
What'd that tell you?
Run the dang ball.
We look. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take anything away from Lamar. Lamar is an amazing quarterback. Even before we had Henry, we were a running team. We just don't have to have our quarterback being the number one runner. Number one, we got the leading rusher. He's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
The whole fourth quarter. Don't tell me everybody keeps. I hear people saying like, "Oh, it's because of the flow of the game." Excuse my language. Flow his ass into the flow of the game. Throw him in. Throw him in there. It's not like he can't pass block. I didn't see you done seen if you watch Henry pass block, he's
Yeah.
decleated plenty of players. I've seen like 2 or 3 linebackers get popped
Mhm.
off their feet. So
I think there's an amount of excitement that happens whenever Justice is able to get that ball and he's able to do some things after the catch. But I still think Henry still should be in the majority of those downs.
yeah,
You know, I mean, and let's just give him a full, a full game. I say a full workload. You know, I'm talking like 65% of the snaps,
but he
maybe
has.
70% of the snaps. You know,
Yeah, Jay, he has. In those games that you just talked about, he has. And we won. Even when even when we played, okay, he didn't have 25 carries against Cincinnati. Neither game. But he
Okay.
was still in the game plan. He was still out there, whether he caught the ball, whether he was blocking, because
Yeah.
him being there, you got to take accountability for him.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you got to be out there every down, or but he should get him into. And then when the fourth quarter come around, he should be out there because it doesn't matter whether he's been running or not. It's the fourth quarter. You tired.
Mhm.
It's just
I mean,
human
you should
nature.
be wearing defensive down in the fourth quarter, and especially in a close game. I really do think that close games, you definitely still, bang it up.
You got
All right,
to.
let's see. So we are down to let's read this, pay these bills, and then we'll jump into the last few comments here. It says Brooke with defensive players coming. LJ needs to make a split decision or split second decision as far as being able to just take off and run instead of trying to reestablish.
Back to the offensive line. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I know Lamar didn't play a good game, but how many times was he sitting on his back?
There was a lot of pressure there.
And they weren't blitzing a lot of times. He was just pressured all the time, even with
Like I said, Herbig really brought it. Like the batted passes with him, the edge pressure was him. It was just I was like thinking it was gonna be Watt's game. This is Herbig's game. He took over.
It just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense at all.
So we can't have them doing that same thing this time around because that Toy Pulota, like I said, with his 7 sacks, number 45. You guys got to watch for number 45 on the field because he is that guy.
Most of the time he rushes over.
Yeah.
Well, unless they alternate, but a lot of times I see him rushing over the right side. Over the right side.
This is a team that can put up the points if we allow them to as well.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it, from a defensive side of the ball here. Well, this is the first time or second time this season we've allowed somebody under 20 points. I think it was Buffalo and then this game. So if defense can come out and make sure we stop this team who has been scoring like crazy. They got 26 points or 26 plus points in the last 4 games.
We did the Denver. Don't forget that. We did the Denver too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Denver game. Yes, that's 3. So 3 games. We need to have those stellar performances come out again.
Yeah.
As far as passing, this guy, he put up 297 yards, 2 passing touchdowns last week. But this is a team that could sneak up on you because they're well balanced. And that daggone McConkey, he comes up out of nowhere. Every time you think that they got this team dead to rights, McConkey comes out with some sideline catch. And I wasn't high on him during the draft. And I knew he had a high 40 time, but it looks like the Chargers are excited about what he's able to bring to the table because, I mean, he's had I had his stats over here. It's not crazy eye-popping numbers. It's just the yards per catch he's starting to capitalize on. And he'll tell you straight up he's got 4.3 speed. At least that he was over here correcting people about his 4.3 speed, but I'm hoping that he can get shut down.
Yeah.
All right, what Delicious say? He says we need to stop with the running back by committee thing. Okay,
Yeah.
spell if it's a longer run, spell him for Henry, but or spell Henry with Justice, or even put Keaton in. But and that's kind of where I was hoping. Like, if we're spelling, we need to give Keaton this opportunity to rip it loose like he did last year.
That wheel route, I think he would have. I think with more separation. I mean, Wilson still made a great play by Pittsburgh, but I think think it'd have been a good. He would have had about a good 3 yards, 4 yards if that was key.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no knock
Well,
on.
here we got who's gonna show up on Monday night. This is like I said. This is a tough scoring. This is one of them. I know we want to say, hey, Lamar's going to come out and have this magnificent comeback game, this, that, and the other. But this is like, like you said, this is identical defenses. So they know exactly what they're getting into on defense. And then when it comes to the offense, we both teams like to run the ball, but they, I think we have the more dynamic set of wide receivers out there.
If we get up on them, I think we're gonna run away with it. If we get up,
if they can't get the pressure, if they can't get home to Lamar, and he's able to take a couple of them shots to find Zay deeper down the field, and we don't sit here and try to force the ball to Johnson, because I say, I know we're trying to work him into this offense, but on the play that Lamar was trying to find him, Zay was wide open.
Well, the player slipped. I don't think Lamar actually looked that way at all. I think he hit, but give it. I mean, Zay was open, but you got to give and take. Like on that particular play, Johnson was open.
Yeah,
it's just that Lamar overthrew him. I think he wanted to lead it to the outside. Probably should. If he would have let him forward, I think Johnson would have caught it. If he'd have let him forward, whether he would have ran it down or he would have dove out for it, but he would have had more to work with. He just got to get used to playing with him. People taking shots at Johnson, but you can't take any shots at him. And he just got here, like literally, and this is literally the only game that he's really been a part of that we had for some time. Like he had 2 targets, but everybody better to answer that question. Everybody better come to play Monday night, because honestly, nobody did everything right. You know what I mean? Nobody. I want to give the defense their kudos, but they need to do that again. Don't be no one trick pony. You know what I mean? Don't give me one good one every blue moon. This need to be a consistent thing. Like I would like this. This is my prediction, more of a prayer, that we become the #1 scoring defense before going into the playoffs. So the bars
big ask.
Down, huh?
I said that's a pretty big ask.
Yeah. Look, they showing it. The bar's 18. They shut teams down over 500. Buffalo, Denver, they held them to 10 points. So the highest bar right now is 18. Right?
Yeah.
So make it come down a little bit more. Next game, don't allow charges more than 17 points. Next game, however it's gonna go, but keep it under that. And then the offense just gotta take off. It just gotta mesh together. I think it's coming together because you found something on the end. And I'm gonna tell you this about Darius, because I know you was high on him, and that's why I was saying everybody, the scheme wise, I said everybody was getting cooked, because they were. You couldn't deny nobody was getting cooked. Now it's like you seeing it. You seeing where everybody, the pieces are being put together, and they're being more physical now.
Mm-hmm.
At the point,
I think with him out there full time, it allows us to do a little bit more cover 3.
Yeah, but even whether they doing cover 3 or they doing man to man, at least they being physical. And the thing that Marcus is not, that Adarius is, Marcus is just a free safety. Adarius can play in the slot. He can play back. You know what I mean? So if you can play, this defense is supposed to be interchangeable at all the positions. Remember, they talked about that before. So, with that being said, and this is high praise. I think Kyle. I know Kyle does, but I think Kyle and Darius got a little bit of that Ed Reed in them. Like they are ball hawks. They'll make a play, and it's just a matter of them getting, playing more time. People worried about Kyle being a free safety. He was a free safety in college, so he wasn't a strong safety. So he was he's used to roaming. Watch his highlights. He went from hash mark all the way to the other side to pick off a ball. So
it's got the range. Definitely got the range.
Yeah.
When it comes to keys to victory on Sunday, I got 3 of them. I don't know if you agree with them, but first one, of course, is ball security. We got to take care of that. There should be no reason that King Henry should be dropping the cookies on the ground.
Yeah.
And then, of course, 3 turnovers. Ball. We cannot. and I know that one where Justice didn't win the battle towards the ground. I mean, it could have went either way. It was just so close of a call there. Usually the tie goes to the runner. Now it's kind of weird on that one.
Yeah.
But then he, catch the ball in critical situations with Lamar's risking his life for everything and then getting it to you to say you got to catch that ball. And then running the ball. Of course, the final one. I think we both agree, like, get the ground game going. We have got to run it, I'd say 22 plus times.
Oh, every time we forget who we are, we struggle.
Absolutely. Oh, Brooke hit it. She hit it.
He was on it.
All right, Brooke says also, if everyone can play well in the same game, that would be great. You can go ahead and pull up Brooke and talk to them and tell them that.
We put it together this week. We needed the flow. Put it all together. I mean, look, it's gonna happen. You got to have one bad game. I'm glad it happened now, and they really getting on you. Like, everybody's getting on it. Like, nobody's talked this bad about the offense since the Raiders game. You know what I mean? So, a little bit in the Kansas City game, but the Raiders game, that's when they really just was like, why is we not getting the ball? Like, again, like, you got two superstars in that backfield. Use them both. Why are we not? I understand that they're trying to save. I think they're trying to save Lamar's legs because he's rarely running. But we have not really, if you notice, we haven't done the run pass option that much at all.
Thank you, Captain Obvious, Brooke.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. This should be this is a good get. This is a good get right game. This is a good get right game after losing. We got hot.
And I still think it's just like, MB3 wasn't a goal. Making the playoffs, yes. I mean, even back in 2012, y'all remember Joe Flacco looked like trash during the regular season. We got to the playoffs, things started to look a little different. Maybe this is the repeat of that. Let's keep it going.
We have not got hot. The season's almost over, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, so let's get there. Let's keep falling off the couch. Y'all continue to show us love, and we appreciate you coming through to the home of original sports perspective, from our couch to yours.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Man, I just want to come back here and talk about a W before Thanksgiving. I need a W before Thanksgiving. I don't want to have no Thanksgiving food and talk to y'all Wednesday on Thanksgiving Eve and talk about we didn't do what we had to do. And it's Monday night, man. Let's keep the party going on Monday night. It seems like when we play prime time, we come to play. So
that's true. He shows up at prime time.
We sure love to be in front of the lights, man. So I hope it's a good sign, and I hope the whole team is teed off enough that they gonna come out there and they're gonna be ready to go. Because it seems like when we go West Coast, we get busy on the West Coast for some reason.
All right. Well, I hope y'all get busy on the West Coast. Enjoy your Sundays, and I guess we'll see you on next Wednesday night. But enjoy your Monday Night Football. Let's go fly.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to the home original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your couch rider Raven, my main man Kam Ru, saying 2 claps, fade to black.
Introducing the couch rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, couch rider. We gon' ride out. Couch rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.